Hey guys, Sarah Gaston here. Listen, today I want to talk to you about what it is to be a performing artist in the age of COVID-19. I, like a lot of my friends, saw months and months worth of work disappear from our calendars in a matter of days. And that's a terrifying proposition when you have based your identity and a great deal of your livelihood based on performing and interacting with people, and that's no longer an option. It leaves a lot of us fearful about what the future holds. But that's what I want to talk to you about today. Fundamentally, actors are storytellers. We have been doing this for thousands, if not millions of years, starting with our ancestors sitting around campfires and telling stories. It's how we have a sense of community. It's how we have a sense of a shared and common experience. It's how we know that we are not alone. In fact, the word tragedy is Greek for goat song, tragos. And one of the origins is that a priest would gather symbolically all the sins of a community, place them on a goat, and chase it from the village. The idea that through a shared common experience or a catharsis, we could be unified and we could be freed from what was holding us back, our darkest fears, our deepest regrets. And so when you see a television show or you go to a live play or you go to a movie and you all have this shared common experience and you have some sort of release either of tears or joy as a result of that, that's a catharsis. And that's what we were put on this earth to do, to tell these stories, to offer a common and shared experience. So now we're saying, what's next? I can't do that anymore. I don't know when I can do that again. But here's the thing. I was watching the movie Jurassic Park the other day. I've seen that movie more times than I can count. But there was a line that really stuck out to me that I heard it a very different way this time. And it's when they've all gone to the island and they realize dinosaurs have been brought back to life. And the little girl asks the paleontologist, "What are you and Ellie gonna do now that you don't have to pick up dinosaur bones anymore?" And he says, "I guess we'll have to evolve too." So that's what's going to need to happen. As actors, we often wait around and hope that somebody will send us an audition or somebody will ask us to participate in a project or that somehow we'll be invited to participate. Well, I think what we need to look at now is how am I going to initiate? How am I going to tell my own story? I have a lovely friend, Josephine John, who wrote a one-woman show based on the ancestry of her family. Now she's writing another show based on her dance career. And she's saying, what do I do? What do I do? What do I do? Not in terms of will I ever get in front of an audience, but how can I get this show out in the world once it's ready? And I think that's the question we need to be asking. What can we do? How can we tell our stories? I have another dear friend who felt ashamed when the quarantine first happened because she had spent all this money, all this time, all this effort on becoming a singer. And she's a glorious, glorious singer. And she was actually ashamed because she was saying, I've put all this effort into becoming a performing artist and now I can't perform. How foolish of me. And here's what I have to say. How much poorer would the world be if she doesn't share her gift? I want her to go on YouTube and record all the songs that she loves to sing and share them with the world. I want her to make a homemade CD of her favorite songs. For her not to give her gift to the world would be a loss for us all. And that's the way I feel about all you artists out there. We have stories to tell. I think the biggest tragedy at the end of a life is to look back and to die with your music still in you. So for me, you know what I'm looking at? I'm looking at getting a voiceover reel. I created over 42 sketch characters when I was at the Groundlings in my intermediate class. And I'm looking at what can I do? Can I put up some funny videos with these little sketch characters? And what a lot of people might be thinking, including you, is how is that going to help? How is my little song on YouTube? How is my silly video? How's that going to help? What does that matter? Well, let me tell you something. I read an interview with somebody, it was one of the cast members of Friends after 9/11, And they said they felt badly about going back to work because they wondered how, in the midst of this great tragedy, could they go back and work on a silly sitcom? What difference did it make? Until somebody walked up to this cast member and said, "Thank you. I watched your show last night and it was the first time I've laughed since 9/11." So if you think that your song or your funny video or your poem doesn't make a difference, you're wrong. Go out there, create, tell your story. Don't die with your music still in you. Okay, if you like this video, please feel free to share with your friends. Like and subscribe on YouTube if you want to be on my email list and get access to some extras that I don't offer anywhere else. Please go to my website, www.sarahgaston.com, and subscribe. But more importantly, stay safe, share your song. I love you.